Okay, super. Annuation. Superannuation.
I have all the topics,
All right. Are you ready? So superannuation, what is it?
When you add things over time repeatedly.
Yeah, I like that. That's exactly right. Yes, that's the word. So it is a consistent amount every so often as well. So every frequent amount. So every month, every week, every year, whatever it is. The same amount all the time for a set period of time. So for example, if I wanted to put $1,000 every year for the next 18 years. All right. So superannuation, another way of saying it is annuity. All right. How much do we think that your parents could have saved for you every week? You said that last time. $20. $20 per week. Is that fair? All right. What's the rate of return? What would you say is the rate of return? Well, average over probably 20 years, let's say, is about 5%, and that's a good return. So we'll do it on 5%. 5% per year, per annum. Your interest rate that you're getting, your rate of return is the rate that you're getting charged or the interest that you're going to be earning. So the interest that you're going to get charged or the interest you're going to be earning. The R is your, the reason why I say rate of return is because if let's just say right now, if I made $1,000 instead of it being $20, if I said it was $1,000 at 5%, $1,000 a year for 5%, how much did I make that year? Well, I made 5% of 1,000. So my rate of return is $5. I put $1,000 in, I made $5. Not 5, 1,005, $50. Yeah, $50. My head didn't make sense. $50. That's what R is. N equals how many years you want? Your parents started from 0 to 18 years old. All right, sounds good. So let's do it. Let's do it to 18. Okay, let's start. What would be the amount after the first week that you were born?
$20. Yeah.
So the day you're born, they would have put $20.
Oh, is it 20 a day?
No, 20 a week.
Oh.
I'm saying the 20 a day is good. 20 the first, as soon as you're born, they put in $20. But then at the end of that week, what happened? Obviously, you would earn a bit of interest, right? And how does the interest work? It's according to this formula. A equals P 1 plus R to the n, your compound interest formula, which I'm sure we remember, right? So P, your principal is $20. 1 plus, by the way, AN stands for the amount after N. And in this case, N weeks, N months, N years. So this is the amount after the first week. So 1 plus, now my rate is 5% per annum, but what am I meant to do to the 5%? Divided by 52. Plug that into your calculator. And then don't use a decimal, use the fraction. So 1041 over 1040. I'll wait for you guys, see if you agree. Agree? ST.
Yeah, I got 20.0.
Oh no, you don't put 20 in your calculator. No, you just put the 1 plus 5% of the 52.
Oh, I got one fraction. Okay.
Did we get it?
Yeah, I got it.
So do we agree that that's the amount after the first week?
Yeah.
If you want to know how much that would be, times it by 20 and you can work out how much you made in that week.
Okay.
Or you put the whole thing in your calculator, right? Just so you can see what is exactly happening. All good? Tell me what happens the first day after your last day of your first week. One more time. What happened the day after your first week? What needs to happen? They put $20. Good. So we agree with that?
Yeah.
Good. So A2 needs to be A1, right? Good. So we agree. Then we're going to times that. So A1 plus 20, that's at the beginning of the week, of the second week. But at the end of the week, you would have earned interest. What's that number? 1041 over 1040. And then we expand. A1 is, right here. So I'll do it slowly. 20, 1041 over 1040 plus 20. Expand it with 1040. All I did was just substitute in A1. I'll highlight it so we're all on the same page. There, that's that. That's all I did. And then expand. 20, 1041 over 1040 squared plus 20, 1041 over 1040.
You can kind of look at the 1041 and 1040 as like M in a way, like this how instead of expand it, just
Yeah, no problem. That's what I would have done.
And don't you have to do that again? Yeah, one more time.
All right, then we're going to do it again to A3. So what would A3 be? A2 plus 20, 1041 on 1040. And then of course, that becomes 20, 1041 on 1040 cubed plus 20, 1041 on 1040 squared plus 20, 1041 on 1040.
Now we use the A equals P times.
Now we have to find, now we don't write them in decreasing order. We write them in increasing order. So we write them as 20, 1041 over 1040. As you get stronger and stronger at this, you'll start to skip certain lines because you obviously know what actually happens. But for now, I'm doing it the longest way it should be done. There it is. You just wasted a line for writing them in order. Now, next step, you have to factorize 20, and you would factorize 1041 over 1040. You're left with 1 plus 1041 over 1040 plus 1041 over 1040 squared. Then you write dot, 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 a to the n. This is when you would write a to the n. What would a to the n equal to? 20, 1041 over 1040, bracket, 1 plus 1041 over 1040 plus 1041 over 1040 squared plus dot, 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 plus 1041 over 1040 to the power of what? No, wrong. Wrong. 3 is here. Look, this is how you do it. 3 is here, right?
Yeah.
3 is here. What's the last number?
2.
So that's not 3, right? So it's 1 less. 1 less than 3. It should have been 1 less than n, which is n minus 1. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You always follow the one on top. That's what you're trying to do. Okay. Then equals 20, 1041 on 1040. What does, the formula's here. I'll write it in green. A Rn minus 1 over R minus 1. That's our formula. What's A equal to? 1. What does R equal to? 1040, 1 by 1040 to the power of, how many n's do you have?
3.
Nope.
Oh,
Yes.
Payments.
Sorry?
Payments we made.
By,
Kenny and Tyler.
the airport manager's next door. Yes. 1041 over 1040 to the power of n minus 1. Incorrect. If you start from here, Okay, sorry, start from the top. Look at this one here. How many terms are there? 3. So even though you see the number 2, you added 1. I asked you, how many terms are there? You just said 3. So here, I said, how many terms are there? You guys said n minus 1. So you looked at the power. But I'm asking you, I'm telling you, if you're going to look at the power, how come you didn't say 2 here? Why didn't you say there's 2 terms? Because there's not 2 terms. There's 1 more than 2. There's 3 terms.
Do we need to have a room or we just upstairs?
Don't think you guys have rooms on Thursday. No. 2 plus 1. So this is why that happens. This starts from what number?
Isn't there 4 terms?
What number is this? What number is this?
Which one?
Right here. I'm highlighting it.
It's 2. One.
1. Yes, Christian? 1. If I started from 1 and I counted all the way to here, how many numbers is there going to be? From 1 all the way to n minus 1, how many numbers will there be? N minus 1. If I counted from 1 to 10, how many numbers are there? Count. 10. From 1 to 10, there's 10 numbers. So from 1 to n minus 1, there's 10 numbers. What are you missing? The extra number in the front. So how many are there altogether? There's technically like that, yeah. So it'll be n minus 1 plus 1 more. Which is just n. Correct. So there's n.
Oh my god, I was such a
No, it's very simple, Tiana. Look at this. Look at this. I asked you guys, how many do you have here? You guys went straight for the power. I'm trying to give you a clue to not get it wrong next time. If you're going to go straight for the power, fine. Look up here. Would you have said there's 2 terms then? That's it. Very easy. So then 2 plus 1, 3. So then down here, n minus 1 plus 1.
Okay,
It's very simple.
right.
Back to it. Because you're starting from 0. How many numbers are there from 0 to 10? Yeah, that's why it's always going to be 1 more than what you are thinking. All right, n. Anyways, back to it. Minus 1 over r minus 1. What's the problem? What's the problem? Tell me. Quick. Quick. What's the problem?
I don't know, I was just thinking this.
You confused?
No, I was just looking at this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Any questions?
Yeah, wait, why did you do this? Wait, why did you put this under the 1041?
Why? Because isn't it r minus 1, the formula? R minus 1. So r to the n minus 1 over r minus 1. Yes, quick.
Whether it's going our A term, where how we took out 1041 on 1040,
Yes,
what happens if we had left that in there and just taken it to 20?
that's what your teachers will do. Don't do that. You'll fail for the harder questions. Am I right? Is that what your teacher's doing?
Yes.
Yep, because they follow the textbooks.
They do to the 420.
They would put this term inside.
Oh, yes.
They would have not factorized it.
Oh, I thought we did.
I know. I don't need you to tell me. I'm telling you. Please don't do that.
She did it for one. She didn't do that. She did this way for one.
Is she told us that at the beginning you
at your.
My way, just so you know, my way works for both superannuation and loan repayments. Whereas when you're going to learn it at school, they're going to teach you two different methods for superannuation and loan repayments. So it's up to you now. You want to learn two different ones? Go ahead. You want to learn one? Then this is the one that's going to not fail you. Continue, please. If you want it to be Band 6 question now, what they would have asked you to do is simplify AM. And a lot of students struggle with that because they don't actually know how to simplify this. The trick to simplifying this is actually understanding the numerator of this, so not the numerator of your fraction, is going to simplify with the denominator of this. That is the trick. So plug all of that into your calculator as a fraction. Slowly. John, questions? Yeah. They're coming. Yes, 10, 2 did yeah. Show me where is it? Yeah. 2 times 5 Perfect.
10.
Okay, I'll give you a way to do this. The other had a fraction of this. It's always easy to multiply.
You said to put that one and that one.
Yeah, exactly right.
I don't know. Don't know why.
Yeah, perfect. And you can rationalize. You can rationalize. True? Yeah. Really little bit. Look, it's fine. It's fine. You don't have to rationalize it. But if you wanted to, you can. You don't have to.
Yeah.
So what do we get? 28, 20?
Yeah.
Good.
And why do we do it?
Yeah, how do you, I don't get how those two go together.
One sec. Are you guys okay with me putting an n just like that without using brackets? But we understand it's to the whole fraction? Good. -1. And then,
Is it like 2x to the, like, and then like x, and then when you time them together, like that simplifies like that type of situation?
you can expand it now and simplify it.
I mean, that's like that.
Wait, like what? To expand and simplify?
Yeah, instead of expanding and simplify, you just put that over that. Like basically if it's like 2x at the top
Yeah.
and then the bottom was
Yes,
like
yes. So why does it work anyways? Why does it work? Because all you've got is like this. You've got x times, I'm going to use something like this, x times 3y minus 2 on 2x minus x. Well, what's 2x minus x? So that can simplify to x, but then isn't this x also divided by 1? So don't we know when we multiply things, technically this is all just multiplied each other? Because when fractions multiply, they just multiply each other. So can't I actually just say that's the same as x over x, which in this case would cancel out, but in your case it simplifies.
Okay.
Tiana's confused. I know. I've been with you for too long for me to know the difference between your case. So we'll do it again. 3 times 4y on 6. You could have done 3 times 4, which is 12, on 6, which is 2y. You could have. Or you could have also done 3 divided by 6, 3 divided by 6, which is a half. Do we understand that? So it becomes 4y divided by a half. No, 4y divided by 2. So 3 over 6 is a half. So, and then 4 and 2 also gives you 2y. So what I'm saying is we're allowed to combine our numerator and denominator from here. Why? Because it's actually multiplied. And when you're multiplying fractions, you can have them all over a common denominator. It doesn't actually matter. Yes? No? One more time, Tiana? One more time. One more time. If I had 2 times 5 over 6, it's the same as 2 over 6 times 5. Did you know that? Did you know that? No. Fair enough. Well, that's what you actually need to know. That's probably where you're stuck. Why are you allowed to do that? Because when you multiply fractions, A over B times C over D, you just multiply straight across. So it's the same as AC over BD. So that means you can swap B and D around, doesn't it? Can't this be D and can't this be B then? And that's what we're doing up here. I'm just saying, instead of it being over this denominator, let me bring it over this guy.
It's instead of that being over one, it's over that.
Yeah, it's this guy over this guy,
Okay.
technically. And that's the trick to simplifying it. Otherwise, when you're going to get AN questions for like there's band 5, band 6 questions, you'll get stuck because a lot of students will get to this level and go, oh, what do I do now? And the idea is you're meant to actually simplify the numerator of this with the denominator of this. You can't times it across, that's what I'm trying to say. You're not going to times it across.
Yeah.
Not the right approach. Okay. Then that's AN. Well, now we wanted A, what? You guys said 18 times 52. What's 18 times 52? 936. All right, let's work out how much money you guys would have made from your parents. To the power of 936 minus 1 times 2820, you would have made $30,366.80. Not bad for $20 a week. Pause there. Do we understand?